Shavua Tov, everybody. Welcome to Israel Brief Central. Yes, it's the Israel Brief with me, Rolene Marks, brought to you by Lay of the Land. And I missed you guys last week. We were only on until Wednesday because of Shavuot. But this week, we're back with a look at your top stories every Monday to Thursday. So before we begin with the headlines, I just want to acknowledge that it is Memorial Day in the United States, and we thank those brave men and women who have fallen in service to their country and to the cause of freedom. For everything, we owe you a debt that cannot ever be paid. We also pay tribute to all those serving in the armed forces of the United States and around the world. So let's take a look at today's top stories, and we begin with news that one Israeli is amongst 4 people who have been killed in a boating accident in Italy. It is believed the boat they were in stayed on the water after other boats had returned to where they were docked due to extreme weather. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has said that the family have been notified, but for the moment, the identity of the person, who is believed to be an Israeli national around 50 years old, has not been made public. Tomorrow, President Herzog will leave for Azerbaijan. This will be a historic first visit for the president, and he will be accompanied by his wife, First Lady Michal. The president is expected to be welcomed by a guard of honor at the presidential palace in the capital, Baku, and will feature 30 Jewish school children from the community and from the Chabad school. Now, the president has been invited to the Shiite majority Muslim country by President Ilham Aliyev. And Azerbaijan is of really strategic importance to Israel. Not only is it a Shiite majority country, but it is also on the border with Iran. There has been a rise in tension between Azerbaijan and Iran over the last couple of months. Now, amongst the topics up for discussion, the Azerbaijanis are reported to celebrate Israel's 75th year of independence, and we wish them happy Independence Day for yesterday, which was Azerbaijani Independence Day. And also the two leaders will discuss regional cooperation and are expected to sign agreements on healthcare. Coalition negotiations continue. However, there has been quite a lot of controversy around discussions. Yesterday, Simcha Rothman, one of the lawyers that is responsible for drafting the reforms in their current iteration, had to be escorted safely out of the Tel Aviv University after he was heckled by people he was lecturing to. Now, what is interesting is that Likud MK David Bitan, speaking to Channel 12, is believed to have said that he doesn't believe that the Prime Minister will pass these overhauls in their current iteration. He says the Prime Minister is well aware of the diplomatic, the economic and the security fallout, and he believes something will be passed but nowhere near what is written. And what is also interesting is that those are sentiments that an unnamed source echoed earlier today to Army Radio, saying that he or she believes that the most controversial points of the overhaul, like the override, for example, will be shelved for at least a year. So watch the space, because the proposed judicial overhauls has been a huge controversy here in Israel and around the world, causing significant divides and resulting in widespread protests. Now, last week we brought you news that Roger Waters, he formerly of Pink Floyd, a rock group that I'm a huge fan of, performed in Berlin, and the controversy around that, he wore a uniform that looked very close to a Nazi uniform. He compared Shirin Abu Akleh and Anna Frank, and flew his inflatable pig with the Magen David on it. Now, last night, Waters performed in Frankfurt. He did not wear his outfit, nor did he put up the image of Anne Frank. This is because he is under investigation by the police in Berlin for hate incitement. Now, his performance in Frankfurt comes after a court overturned a ruling that said he was an anti-Semite. However, there were widespread protests outside the arena last night by members of the Jewish community and allies. Meanwhile, as the show went on, supporters of Israel inside managed to unfurl a huge Israeli flag and chant Am Yisrael Chai, the Jewish people live, and one even managed to get on the stage with an Israeli flag. What is disturbing is that the police forcibly removed those who were holding the flag. The video is available on social media, which does not bring about any kind of favorable comparisons, and at least one spectator made death threats to those who were protesting. Nevertheless, this is how pride is expressed, and Roger Waters was sent a very, very strong message. We are Israel, we exist, and we will not be intimidated by anti-Semites like you. Yesterday, Robert F. Kennedy, who is a hopeful for the next presidential run in the United States, tweeted out a tweet in support of Roger Waters. Now, of course, this led to an pile-on, or as the kids say, he was ratioed. Today, he has apologized for his tweet, removed it, and said that he was tweeting in support of Waters's policies or viewpoints regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. However, he remains absolutely committed to a strong state of Israel. So those are your top stories for today. Don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online, our YouTube channel at The Israel Brief. Please give us a like, a share, and subscribe. We're on Twitter at layoftheland5 and on Facebook at Lottel Site. I'm Rolene Marks. This is The Israel Brief, and we'll be back tomorrow with more of your top stories.